Well, hey y'all, I hope you're having a great day. It's Saturday here in Atlanta. I've been back from my cross-country trip for about 10 days, had a wonderful time. But listen, I get lots and lots of questions about how I made the bed platform that I use in my Subaru Crosstrek. This is a 2024 subcompact Subaru Crosstrek. It's very small. I figured out that if I moved the front passenger seat all the way forward and leaned it forward, I have exactly 6 feet. And I set out to try to figure out how to make a bed platform where I could fit in here and sleep level and comfortable. And so I watched lots of other YouTube videos on how to do that. I wandered the aisles at Home Depot and lots of home goods stores with a tape measure, trying to figure out what would fit, because I figured out I had exactly 6 feet in here. And I came up with a solution that works good for me. Now, everybody's vehicles and needs are different, so you need to figure out what works for you, and we'll talk about some ideas there. But I got this idea from watching a lady that had done something similar in a minivan. So what I ended up building was very different from her, but I got the inspiration from that video. So I encourage you, dig through YouTube and search bed platforms for vehicles, for cars, for SUVs, for vans, for whatever your specific vehicle is. And then you just have to get a little creative and make something that works for you. So let me turn around here now, and I'll show you some of the tools that we used, and show you what we used to make the bed platform. So first of all, why did I need a bed platform? Why did I need to level this up? I don't know if you can see, but this is not level. This part of the floor is much lower. This goes up at an angle here, and there's a hump and another hump, and it continues going up. So it's going up at a pretty steep angle. If we were to put the level on here, and you have to use this headrest in the Subaru as part of the support. So to level this up is right there. So you can see we come back, then this part is much lower. I mean, it's much lower than here. So I wanted to figure out a way to level it up. Now you could not worry about it. You could just throw some pillows down over those humps and throw a sleeping bag and throw some boxes and things in the floorboard to build that up, and you could make it work. I don't know that it would be very comfortable. They make some inflatable mattresses that you can put in there that fit around that armrest. I didn't think that'd be very comfortable for me. I wanted to build up a bed platform. I wanted to have some storage underneath. Now, a lot of folks come back and say, you're wasting space, you're losing headroom. Yeah, that's right. This worked for me. You figure out what works for you. I'm going to show you what worked for me, and then you take that and you can use it or not use it and figure out what works for you. You could also just have a piece of plywood cut and put in there, and it would be inclined. It wouldn't be level, but that would work. You know, you could figure something out. Lots of ways to do this. Okay, so how did I make a bed platform out of a Home Depot HDX plastic shelving unit? This is a 5-tier shelving unit. These these shelves are exactly 2 feet wide and exactly 3 feet long. If you stack 2 of these together, you end up with a 2 foot wide by 6 foot long bed platform. Worked perfect for me. Might not work for you, but it works for me. So I needed to figure out, since I was trying to get it level, I was going to put one corner would go up on the armrest. That's the highest point. I needed a long leg to go on the other side, and then it was going to come back. And of course, remember, this is lower here, so I needed 2 shorter legs to go back here. And then I needed some way to attach it and hook them together. And I needed something to, in the middle, I needed to build it up about 3 inches in the middle where they attach. So I was trying to figure out what to do. So first of all, the legs that come with this these are the legs that go in between the shelves, when you stack the shelves together, and then they stack up. So I had a bunch of these. Since it's a 5-tier unit, I measured and figured out how long I needed my legs to be. I needed the 2 short legs back here in the back, and I figured out what that would be. And so, you know, what I did, I just stuck a long leg in here, and then I figured out how long I needed this to be, and I marked it, and then I just used a saw and cut it off. You could use a hacksaw, you could use a wood saw, a garden saw, an electric skill saw, whatever you got. I mean, it's just plastic. It'll cut pretty easy. So I marked that. You can also see that it's, you know, because they're designed to stack up, it's got a piece sticking through at the top. So I marked that and cut that off as well. So I had to make a cut here, and I had to make a cut down here. So what I ended up with on my legs for the back, you can see this is what I started with, and this is what I ended up with. So I cut some of this part that sticks up in the hole. I had to cut some of that off so it wasn't sticking up above my bed platform. And then I cut the lower part off to make it the right height. And the only other thing I did, I remember I had a bunch of these. When these stick through here, they're designed to have another leg stick down in there. So this part is smaller than this, and so there's a little bit of play. It's designed to have this other leg stick, you know, to this. Well, here we go. It's designed to have another leg go in there. They fit together, kind of like Legos. So I wasn't going to do that, so I just cut off. I just measured how deep that was and cut a little piece off, made a little shim out of that, stick that down in there, and then stick my new leg up in here, and it's perfect. See, it doesn't wobble. You can see, I hope you can see what I did there. Just stick this little shim in there, and then this fits up inside of there. It's nice and tight. So that's one leg. Same thing on the other side for the back. They were the same height. So now we're finished with the back part of it. Got to figure out how to fasten the two pieces together, and got to figure out how to make one long leg to go up there in the front. So to fasten it together, I knew that I had a 3-inch, I measured, and where they come together, I needed about 3 inches to build it up off the floor. I could have cut a bunch of legs. I could have cut 4 legs and put there, and then found a way to tie these together. You could use string, you could use wire, you could use whatever. But something made me think of this. I realized I had an old 2x4. I cut off 2 2-foot sections, same width as the shelf. I cut 2 of those off and screwed them together, and I used some number 10 2-inch screws. They work perfect. Let's see, here's one. So just flathead metal screws with a, you know, point on the end, and that worked together. I just put 3 screws down through there, screwed those together, and that was the perfect height for me. Now your vehicle might be different. You could stack books underneath there. You could throw some old scraps of wood. You don't have to do it like I did it. You could do it much more simple than I did it. But see, that's 3 inches wide. Worked perfect. And so then I had to figure out, okay, that's my 3 inches. How am I going to attach them together? The shelving unit comes with 4 of these caps that when you get to the top of the shelf, it's just like trim. It finishes it off, and they stick in there like that. Well, I didn't need those, and so I realized, okay, those fit in the holes, and so I just put this down, put the 2 shelves on top of it, and I figured out exactly where I needed these to be. I actually put them underneath here on all 4 and put them on top of here, and then I just took those same screws and screwed these 4 caps on. And so now, let me show you how that works. Honest to God. So now I've got this connector made. I just put this piece there and that piece there, and they are perfectly connected together. It worked beautifully for me. So now the only thing left to do was to make the long leg that honest. So now all that was left to do is to make the long leg that went up in the front there. And it actually, I had a dilemma because what I needed was longer than one of these. So I realized these are like Legos. They stack together, so I just used 2 of them. I took one piece and then I took another one and figured out how long I needed it to be, and I whacked it off. And so now I've got 2 pieces of legs that go together and makes the perfect height that I needed. And again, I made it another one of those little shims that goes in the top that this fits up into, so it's nice and snug. So that worked perfect. So let's put it in here, and I'll show you how it all goes together. So first of all, I'm going to put this piece in the middle where they attach together. Now, some of you have watched my videos and saw that I took the lower part of the back seat out to give me some more storage room. You don't have to do that. Some people said, I don't want to do that. You don't have to do it. The measurements are a little bit different. You might have a slight hump where they connect together, but you don't have to do it. And for this video, the seat is in. Everything's in there, so you don't have to do that. So this makes it more simple. Okay, let's put that there. That's the connector. This is the back section, and I just showed you how we put these 2 back legs on there. Let's put that in there and connect it. And let's see. All right, got that connected. Now, let's put the other section in there. You know, I don't know if it's meant to be to make a video today. I've got airplanes flying over. It wasn't supposed to rain. It's been raining. But we're going to make this video. We're going to do this to show you guys how to do this. All right, so we're going to put this other section in here. It's going to attach like we showed you on that same piece of wood. There we go. And let me bring you around and I'll show you how we're going to finish this. So you can see the lower part of the seat is still here. This is, get you stabilized here. Here's that connector. All right, so see, those just fit down on top of there like that. Fits together perfect. Now I need a leg up here. Now you could stack some boxes up there, and some people have done that. You could find some storage boxes that come to the proper height or build something and do that. I wanted to put my power bank in there, so it's in there. Wanted to have some room to put some stuff on top of it, so we're gonna put this leg down here. There we go. And we're gonna stick that in there. All right, so can you see what I did there? Sorry, I don't know if my camera works too. But I got my long leg there. This is right on top of the armrest. And then I've got my connectors here. And then I've got the 2 short legs back here. And now we've got a 2 foot wide by 6 foot long bed platform. I'm gonna put the mattress in there and show that to you next. So we got the bed platform in here now. Now we need a mattress. There's been a lot of questions about the mattress that I used. I ordered a trifold 4-inch thick memory foam mattress off of Amazon. You don't have to use this. You can use anything you want to use. It might be a better solution to go buy a 2 foot by 6 foot long piece of memory foam and just use that. And you could make a cover for it. Some people are going to want a thicker mattress than this. This is 4 inches. I like a real firm mattress with my back. But you can feel this bed platform through this. So some people would want an extra pad under that, or they would want a thicker mattress. But You don't have to use the one I use. There's lots of choices. Just search for car, bed, camping, mattress. This one is, and everyone wants to know exactly the one I used, but you don't have to use this. The one I used is a gem bed, G-E-M-B-E-D, G-E-M-B-E-D. When I bought it, it was on sale for $71. Now it's a good bit over $100, so it's not quite, almost doubled in price. So search around and find out something that works for you. There's lots of solutions. This is a 2-foot, I think this was 24 inches by 75 inches long, trifold 4-inch memory foam mattress. So anyway, this is how it goes in there. It just unfolds like this. One nice thing about this is it's easy to store in the house when I take it out. So it goes in like that, so you can see it's just the right length. I'm able to shut the lift gate. So lots of questions about, Jim, how do you get in there? How do you get to that? And a lot of people want to see me laying on top of this mattress to see how much room I have. This is a subcompact small vehicle. This is like the equivalent of a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla, but it's the Subaru small SUV. It's about that same size inside with a hatchback. So I get in from the front, but you could get in right here. You could get in from the side door right here. I get in, I'm usually sitting in the front when I decide to go to bed, and so I just crawl in from there, and I'll show you how I do it. All right, so when I'm ready to go to bed, I just turn around, get on my knees, and climb up here, and just climb back here. And I usually want my head up here, so I just spin around. I just do like this, spin around, and lay down. And I've got, about 15 inches here. I can lay on my side. Got plenty of room. It's tight, but I got plenty of room to flip around. I don't have enough room to sit up, but I could prop up with a pillow right here and read or watch a video or do anything like that. So it works for me. Okay, now for the measurements. A lot of you want exact measurements, so I'm going to give them to you. Remember, this is for a 2024 Subaru Crosstrek. They redesigned the Crosstrek in 2024, so if you're watching this years later, 2024 plus probably 6 years, so probably 6 or 7 model years will work. You'll just have to figure out when they redesigned it again. But if you don't have that particular vehicle, it's no problem. You'll just have to adjust it. You'll have to make your legs. You'll have to use a tape measure and figure out what you need. It's not rocket science. Just use a tape measure and figure out what works for you. This concept will work in any vehicle. You can make it work in a tent or a minivan or a SUV or a car, whatever you have. You're just going to have to figure out what fits and how to connect it and how big how long you need the legs to be. So let's do the measurements. I promised everybody I would give the measurements. Now remember, when you stick these legs through here, there's going to be a section sticking up. You're going to cut that off first. Before you do any measuring, put these through there and cut that off and have this flush, all right? So now we'll do our measuring from there, all right? So, the back legs. Now remember, we cut off a little piece to go in there to kind of shim it up because these are designed to fit together like Legos. So this little piece that slides up in there to keep it from wobbling is just an inch, like an inch or inch and a quarter long, and then it just sticks up in there to keep it from wobbling. Then the legs, the back legs that fit down in there, after we've cut off this excess so that it's not sticking up above our bed, I'll tell you the total length, and then I'll show you the length from the bottom of the bed platform to the floor. So the total part that counts the part that sticks up inside the bed platform, that is 7 1/4 inches, 7 1/4. Okay, let's stick it in there now. And We've got both of these in there now, and thus measure from the bottom of the bed platform to the floor. That is, let me make sure they're the same, both sides. 5 1/8. 5 1/8 inches long. So that's not counting the part that's down in there. That's just the part after we stick it in there from the bed platform to the floor, 5 1/8. That's for the back legs. Now the connector piece, remember I told you I used a 2x4. A 2x4 is not actually 2 inches thick. It's 1.5 inches thick. So I needed 3 inches to go between the two pieces and to connect them and to make it level. So 2 of those together is 3 inches, exactly 3 inches. They are, I cut them as wide as the bed platform, 24 inches. So 24 inches long, 2 pieces screwed together. You don't have to do this. If you don't have a 2x4, if you don't have anything like this, you can use books. Throw some books under there, throw a chunk of wood under there, whatever you got. This is not rocket science. Make it work. Now, the way I put these on there, everybody's gonna say, well, how did you know where to put these? Before I screwed anything in, I put them underneath here. I just stuck them in there. Just stuck them in there. And then I put my piece of wood down. And then I put this up here, like it's, connecting together. And so they were loose then, but they were right exactly where they needed to be. And so then I just took my drill and, or took my screwdriver and screwed them in from there. So they were in the exact right spot. You can use a hand screwdriver. I used a cordless screwdriver with a little extension, and I just screwed them in. And then when I took this off, there they were in the perfect spot. So the only other thing, let's see, the measurements, we already told you, these shelving units are 2 feet wide, 24 inches by 36 inches or 3 feet. You put 2 of these together and it's 6 feet long by 2 feet wide. The only other thing we have left is this leg that went up right behind the passenger seat. Now remember, we had to use 2 of our legs to put together to make one long enough, because one leg wasn't long enough. So I put the 2 legs together. Again, I stuck this up through here, marked it and cut off the excess where it's flat there. So from here to down to the bottom, counting the part that sticks up inside the bed platform, remember this is 2 legs, you need a piece that is 20.5, 20.5 inches. Now, once this sticks down inside the bed platform, from the bottom of the bed platform to the floor, this is 18 inches and 1/8. 18 and 1/8. If you want to make it 18, it's no big deal. These are not exact numbers, okay? And figure out what works for you. If you've got thick floor mats down there, or if it depends on where you put it, measure your own stuff and figure out what works for you. And you're never going to be parked on an exact level spot. So these measurements don't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure when you sleep that your head's a little higher than your feet. That's the main thing. So you can accomplish that lots of different ways. So that's that. I am not very good at making this kind of video, but I had promised some of you that I would show you how I made this and try to give you the measurements. So that's my best effort at this. A lot of you are going to say, that's not how you should have done it. You've got wasted space. You're losing headroom. You should do it a different way. That's fine. You do what works for you. I did what worked for me. Everybody's needs are a little bit different. You make one and make a video and show me how you did it, and you can show me why it's better, and I'll love to see that. So hope you're all having a great day and a great weekend or a great week whenever you see this. And just wanted to get this done since I'd promised some of you I would do it. So I will talk to you all later on.